Thank you very much, Pulse. We're just going to wrap up the series here, and remember that NA is going to take over right after that for their second round in the regional qualifier. Though, let's well, round up this series, take a look at the picks and bans from the last game, and maybe take a look at it with tomorrow's game in sight and maybe top priorities, as Missy already alluded to, that Braum.
Yeah, I mean, he just said they didn't know how to play against it, so they had to either ban it or first pick it. Obviously, that tells a lot about Mithy on this Braum pick here, but also just how strong he is in the current meta. We know Hillerson likes to play it, even though normally he's more of the engaged type. His Braum has been okay, but this series, I mean, Origen outpicked ROCCAT in so many ways, in my opinion, if you look at the full team comp. What ROCCAT tried to do was have 3 winning lanes, at least pushing lanes, and then try and be like super aggressive in the early stages. But they've been losing the lane swap ever so slightly every single game so far.
In the same way, almost.
In the same way. And of course, exactly the same thing happens. It means the Sivir now has a way to get out of the Kalista lane and just start pushing out early towers, and a big goal lead suddenly happens for Origen.
And the thing is, it's not even as if it's a massive problem. There's that 10 seconds or so where Soaz is getting just that extra little bit onto the tower earlier, and it's a ripple effect throughout the entire of the early game that means that ROCCAT are just behind the curve ever so slightly. What I will say, though, is that was the first game that we were talking about where it was actually Origen that had the favorable picks and bans. Yeah. I feel like in every other game, ROCCAT were ahead of the curve on picks and bans. The players talked about it as well. That is not going to happen to Origen tomorrow. Unicorns, picks and bans were incredibly predictable over the last 2 series we've seen from them.
Yeah, they were just so far behind in terms of the meta. They had another week now to practice. Maybe they found something new, but again, this game, the fact that we get this Kalista, who's no longer banned after being banned for 4 games, it almost felt like a trap.
Yeah.
That Rallis would lock it in, and then ROCCAT gave over the Kalista despite having so many mid lane bans as well, and Pekka had shown that Victor was probably his best champion in this series. He got it anyway in the second rotation, and Amazing got Elise, which still turned out to be fantastic in the early game. We cannot ignore the impact it can have. So I feel like Origen simply just got basically everything. ROCCAT tried to steal a little bit away, but it became too risky for them to play that kind of comp. They're not good enough in the early game to pull off a composition like this.
And it was also one of the first times, in my opinion, that we saw an OG, as we've known to, have come to know them, winning in the summer split, where they get rolling and they snowball really hard and take the victory off that. Not looking at that game 5, though, entire series, of course, sad for ROCCAT that they are out in the end, but a marked improvement coming into this series. Nobody would have given them probably 5 games against Origen, and shown real improvement. They have to get their head up high and move with that into the next season.
It definitely felt like Yamato's words yesterday rang true. 5-14 was their patch. They knew it inside out. They had a lot of time to prepare, looked very solid. Origen looked shaky today in the early onset of the games, which is a little worrying, but I don't think it's a massive problem. They had a lot of small problems that amounted to losses against ROCCAT. I think they should be able to fix them, you know, with discussions going into tomorrow.
I also think Unicorns won't be able to challenge them as much as ROCCAT here, at least when it comes to... I mean, some of the plays where we're saying they're too passive, it's also because ROCCAT is very good at setting up the defense in, you know, before the play will even start. So ROCCAT is... Oh, sorry, Origen is saying, let's play it safe and let's try and outscale instead. Unicorns will be a lot more crazy in many ways in how they want to play it out, and that gives a lot of openings for Origen to punish them.
Yep, that is tomorrow. One more thing about today's matchup. We're crowning a player of the series, and looking at today's set overall, we'd like to give that to Origen's Mithy. 71% kill participation in 5 games. 1 step closer to the World Championships for Origen, and he had a lot to do with it, with that Braum especially, but shot calling, decision making is something we've talked about so much already.
Yeah, this guy is so important for Origen in so many ways, but really his Braum play, the way, I mean, Krepo said it best, he's very good at getting hit by skill shots, and then the way he just positions in the front, the way he can also connect his ulti is so underrated on a lot of Braum players, because that ulti in itself can almost win you the fight alone. If you manage to zone off a guy and then knock up a second one, and like, it just enables these very quick kills in the start of fights, and he used it really well.
Yeah. Very good games from Mithy and OG overall for pulling it out. We also have another award to give out. Take a look at our garment of the series. According to you guys and girls on Twitter, 63% of you, Stress is wearing some kind of sock around his neck.
I agree.
The people have so good. It is a sock or a tiny scarf, actually.
I'm just getting ready. Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. We'll see. Well, with their win today and the little zoom, Origen have knocked ROCCAT out of the regional qualifier, and they will advance to tomorrow's finals, where they will face the Unicorns of Love for the last European seat at Worlds 2015. We said a lot about that series already. Want to look at momentum? Maybe we saw amazing there on the player cam. Looking defeated, I don't know, maybe it was exhaustion, maybe it was not expecting that it would be brought all the way to 5 games, but they have to recap fast.
Yeah, I mean, Mifty was talking about how they were more afraid of ROCCAT than Unicorns of Love, so I guess it gives a lot of confidence coming into this series here. We have seen Unicorns play both the third place match and the semi-final, where they got, to show quite a lot of different picks in the pick and ban phase, and yet it was kind of the same. Even though, yeah, we saw the Kale with Devour, and we say that is a different pick, but we saw it a few times, and it felt like Unicorns just lacked some extra picks on this meta, on this patch. That is something Origen can punish, but also don't underestimate the Unicorns of Love. They had another week. They can suddenly surprise you with some picks coming in.
Some
I'm going to say some meta picks, If suddenly Power Vivo is picking up an Azir,
you banned us from saying magic, remember?
I'm not going to say magic at all. There's no magic here.
In a week, you think Kalista and Azir come out in a week? It's official.
It only has to be one. Just Azir.
I'm just saying, the thing is, if you go into the pick and ban phase, at least for game 1, and you say, oh, they don't play any of those champions, and then you don't prioritize them because you can just take them later rotations, Unicorns will have the chance to maybe surprise you by taking meta picks. It sounds weird, surprise you by taking meta picks, but that's what we got to see from Unicorns if they want to win.
Well, all our questions and more will be answered tomorrow, because that battle for a spot on the international stage starts at 5 p.m. Central European Time. That is 8 a.m. Pacific. And after we know our final Worlds contender here in Europe, we'll send it over to North America for their clash between Team Liquid and the winner of today's best of 5. Well, TIP or Cloud9, that's coming up very soon. It's time to head over to the NA for their semi-final matchup between Team Impulse and Cloud9. On behalf of myself and everyone here at the European LCS, thank you for joining us, and we'll meet you back here tomorrow for the final set of the 2015 regional qualifier.
Let's dive into the second round.